Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube. So this is my first video, so bear with me because it's probably going to be a bit rubbish slash I'm probably going to forget what I'm going to say. I just find the intro bit so like awkward. It's like, hi guys. I'm quite an awkward person. You notice this as we go through. Guess I just wanted to fill you in on my kind of journey with fitness for this first video, so that you can kind of see where I've been, what I've tried. My journey with fitness has in no way been a straight road to success, a straight road up. It has been very up and down. A lot of mistakes have been made. I think even now I'm only just starting to work out kind of what works for me, because everything's different, everyone's different, different things work for different people. So there's not a one size fits all with fitness. You've got to do what you enjoy, what works for you, what works for your body. So I guess I've always been skinny. Throughout the whole of school I've had quite a high metabolism, so I've always been quite straight up and down though. The only real curve I've had is the fact that I've got quite a small waist, which kind of runs in the hip. I'm in love with the shape of you. So then even throughout school I think I had quite a bad relationship with food. I didn't used to eat a lot, and what I did eat wasn't nutritious in any way, shape or form. There were occasions where I used to hide food under my bed at dinner time and stuff. I used to go in my room and hide it because I just didn't want to eat it. And yeah, it didn't get like awful, but I did get very skinny, and friends and family started to be worried about me and started to make comments. But in my eyes, I looked great. I didn't look too skinny, I didn't look unhealthy, I looked fine. So that I think's always kind of been one thing that I've kind of constantly been battling with, is my relationship with food. And I think even up until probably about a year and a half ago, I was still kind of facing that battle of being like, food is not bad, food is needed for your body to run properly, you need to nourish your body, you need to love it. So I didn't really get into proper fitness. So I've been a dancer all my life. I started dancing when I was 3, and I danced through till the age of about 16, when my knees started causing me problems and I couldn't do it anymore, and I just wasn't built for ballet. But that's a whole other chat vlog in itself, to be honest. So many issues, like I'm literally a medical textbook just walking, like. So I have been sporty in that respect, but never really properly onto fitness. And then in my year 12, so I would have been 17, I had to have my first of 2 knee surgeries to try and fix like swelling and pain that I had going on. And it did work, all was good, except for the fact I did my my ASs on morphine, which is interesting. And basically from there I kind of had to go into rehab, and I had to work to get my strength back. But in reality I didn't really do that much. I got really bad wastage on my left quad, which, to be honest, even to this day I'm still trying to kind of build and recover from, because it just got so bad. And then I remember we hit 18, and it got around to the time that people were going off to uni. I didn't get in my first round of applications. I remember I was absolutely devastated. Like, my world had ended, all my friends were going off to uni, I was stuck at home, everything was just bad basically. So then I was like, tell you what, I'm gonna go to the gym, try the local gym. So I joined the local gym and I started going, and to be honest, it wasn't healthy. So the issues that I'd previously had with food were kind of perpetuated. So not only was I now eating as little as possible, when I did overeat, I was then basically using cardio, hours and hours of cardio to kind of burn off what I'd eaten the day before. So it just wasn't healthy. I used to go in there, and I remember I used to just go on a treadmill for like 2 hours, or different cardio machines for like 2 hours. And I didn't really have a lot of fat to burn off, so I was basically just burning off my muscle. So yeah, I remember thinking about wanting to weight train, but I remember being so anxious and like so daunted by going in there with all the people that are in there that know what they're doing, that are lifting heavy. It just terrified me. So I literally was just like, I'll do cardio. And then I remember I went off to uni for my first year of uni a year later, and I remember they had a really good weight section. I remember looking at it on a regular basis and being like, oh, I kind of wish like I could go do weights. I kind of want to do weights. But just, I remember it being filled with rugby boys. Like no females, just men, and just being like, nah, not for me. Too many men. Yeah, and it just wasn't for me, and I couldn't bring myself to go in. And I think it was near the end of first year, I said, no, you know what, I want to do this. I think I'd seen quite a lot on Instagram of girls starting to lift weights. It became, because when I first started uni, it wasn't like a big thing on Instagram, these fitness Instagrams, girls lifting weights. God, I sound so old. But this was back in like 2012. Yes, I know, 6 years ago. Need Botox. And I remember just being like, oh, something like maybe I want to try something different. I'm bored of cardio. I remember I was like, right now I'm gonna just put a bit of money aside, get a personal trainer for a few weeks to show me the ropes. And I remember going in there on my first session just being like, I can't do any of this, like this is gonna be horrendous, I'm gonna make an absolute fool out of myself. His trainer's gonna be like, what the hell are you doing? And he was so lovely, and I remember him being like, no, you know what, Sodom, you're in here, like, you've got to keep going, do what you want to do. So had a few sessions for a few weeks, and I remember my first session that I did by myself, trying to like egg myself up to go in there and do my session. I was like, come on, you guys, you've got this. And I was like, I can't do it, like I literally can't. So I remember I put my headphones in, I whacked my music up literally to the top. I think it was like 90s pop as well, something ridiculous. And I just went in there and I did my session, and I felt so good after it. Don't get me wrong, I got stared at like there was no tomorrow. It was like they'd never seen a female before in their life. But I felt so good for it, and that kind of kick-started my weight training journey. And then went back to uni in second year, and I was kind of like bumbling along. And I get this sometimes, I have this crazy idea that I want a big goal to aim for. I'm not very good at doing fitness to do fitness. I'm kind of not very good at training just to train. Well, I never used to be. I used to like to have a goal, like a bit of a mad goal that I set myself, and then kind of work for that. So in my second year of uni, being on our snow sport committee, a million and one other things that I was balancing, I decided to do a sprint triathlon in the summer. You know, as you do, sprint triathlon, that's easy enough. Not hit a certain weight, do this. Let's just sprint triathlon. Who do I think I am? Like, but I went to my sports centre at uni and I said, this is my goal. Have you got someone I can talk to about nutrition? And I basically hired a trainer again. And I remember I spoke to the nutritionist, and she said, can you do me like a 5-day food diary? So I did a 5-day food diary. Wow. Newsflash, turkey dinosaurs are nutritious. Like, who knew? I know that turkey dinosaurs weren't nutritious. I just want to clarify this before people start being like, who do you think you are? Like, you have no food. Anyways, so I showed her my 5-day food diary, and I just remember her almost recoil in horror, and basically turned to me and said, if you are serious about this goal, you need to fix your nutrition. Like, it is horrendous. You don't eat enough. You basically don't have any sort of vitamins or minerals in your diet. You don't have enough protein. It was quite bad. So she set me out like not an exact plan, but she kind of set me macros and taught me through how to count macros, like using MyFitnessPal stuff. So I started doing that, which was great. Like, I think since that day I pretty much tracked since 2013. But yeah, so she got me tracking. I started getting better. I started getting some more vegetables in my diet and all this. And then I remember I started doing proper weight training with my trainer that I'd hired. It was going great and everything, and I was getting stronger, and I was doing, outside of that, I was doing outdoor bike training, outdoor running. I wasn't doing the swimming because it was really hard where I was. There wasn't a swimming pool locally that was included in my membership. So I was kind of like, well, I know how to swim, like, that'll do. So yeah, so I was training, and I think, so I started training in January, and I vividly remember being at my 21st birthday. That's right. I am now 25, going on 26. Let's not talk about that. My 21st birthday, I had this house party, and I remember looking there and being like, oh, like, I look amazing, I look so good, I look so toned. Now I look back at pictures and I'm like, your legs look so small, they look like they could break. It's hard because it was healthy in a way, yes, because it was fairly muscly, but actually I was under-eating because I was really struggling with energy all the time. I was under-eating, I was overtraining, I was constantly hurting, constantly getting knee pains. It just wasn't done very well, really. So that went on, I did my training, and then I remember just before I was due to compete, I got really ill. I got really bad tonsillitis. I had to go home from uni, actually, and miss my last exam because I'd just been doing too much and not fueling my body for it. So a week before the competing, I had that tonsillitis. I was in bed for a week, and I woke up the day of my triathlon, and my dad went, "You're not going to go." And I went, "I am going to go because I've been training for this, and I'm going to push through, and I'm going to do this." Well, I went, I pushed through, and I did do it, but I couldn't breathe for most of it, and I actually almost passed out while running. But I actually got my best time to date, and I didn't come last. In fact, I think I came like halfway up, which for my first one I found quite impressive. But yeah, so that's second year. Completed a sprint triathlon, like, bossed it, feeling great. And I went back to uni, and I was like, yeah, ready to smash the third year. I think within 3 weeks I had glandular fever so bad that I couldn't leave my bed. Winning! I basically tried to stick it out for a week, maybe 2. I went to the doctor 3 times. They told me it's just really bad tonsillitis. Third time I went, they did the blood test and were like, you have glandular fever. I was like, really? Could this be any worse timed? So I basically had to leave uni, and I left uni, I think it would have been start of October. I didn't go back to uni until after Christmas break. I was doing everything from home on the sofa. So obviously any form of workouts didn't happen for about probably 4 months. So I lost everything I built strength wise. I was basically back at square one. And I remember being really frustrated, so frustrated all the time. But then as soon as I was back, like at uni, I was back on it, like, and I remember just gaining so much strength in that time and feeling like so good. And I think that was possibly not in terms of having had glandular fever, because I had quite bad energy issues for a while after, but just in general about how I felt like about myself. I was starting to feel good. I started to realise that yes, I could have bad stuff, but I needed to fuel my body for it to be healthy. I just really started to kind of, I think, get to grips and fall in love with training. Everything's good. Then I moved into my masters, and I was making sure I was getting up at 6 o'clock every morning to get to the gym for 6:30 to get my session in before I went to uni in London. I then had to go into my second round of knee operation, which was, I think, I would say around Christmas time, 2016. Then had really bad fluid issues, so actually had to be off it for about 2 months in total, not doing anything other than some isometric quads and stretching. And then, so then my knee, my left quad was really wasted, again, not the fun kind, and I had to go through a whole nother round of rehab. I remember I got a trainer at my local gym. He was amazing, and he basically helped me pretty much get back to where I was. He really stuck it through with me, because I was at the point of giving up. I was really struggling to mentally deal with that round of rehab, because I was kind of just bored of it. Also, in case you can't tell, I can't sit still. He then got me on the, is it 5x5 program, I think it's called, where you have 5 compound lifts. Was it 3x5? Can't remember now. But you basically take a certain number of compound lifts, you do a certain number of sets of those, and each time you do the workout, you basically try and beat your weight before. So basically a progressive overload. And I think that's kind of what got me in the mindset of, I want to lift heavy things, I want to be as strong as possible, I want to beat my personal best every time. The gym is a place for a competition for myself, that I can kind of always work on something, always work towards a goal. Whereas before, I think it was very much a means to an end, which is why I struggled to stick with it. So I was weight training and it was going along fine. And then the little thought popped into my head again, you haven't done a challenge in a while, what can we do? And I remember on social media at this time, low carb diets were being kind of thrown around quite a lot, and benefits of them and various bits and pieces. So I thought, oh, I know, I'll try low carb dieting. So I remember trying low carb training. Oh my God. It was horrendous. Like, I remember trying to lift weights and my body just being like, nah. Like, I used to train at 6 in the morning, plus with low carbs. I was just not bothered. Like, don't get me wrong, I lost all my water weight and I was like, oh, I looked a bomb, like, my stomach's so flat. Is the flat stomach really worth giving up the carbs? Honest answer, having lived through it, nah. I wouldn't recommend low carb to anyone. I'm highly avid fan of carbs of life, and that is how I live my life now, and I love it. Yeah, I've been kind of consistently weight training now for 3 years, just with the view of being stronger and kind of being my own competition and having no real like goal in mind. The only time I have cut was heading into summer 2017, and I remember I whacked my cardio up. Like, I was doing so much cardio, it was quite disgusting. I don't like cardio either. Hate cardio, no. And I was I cut my food down quite a lot, which wasn't the healthiest way to do it, but I just had it in my mind that it was mine and Kev's first holiday together and I wanted to be skinny for it. And yeah, cutting at that point wasn't for me. I wasn't mentally ready to cut. I wasn't mentally comfortable enough with myself, the way I was looking. And I remember, so I picked up the shorts that I wore to Tenerife the other day and tried them on. and I couldn't even get it over my knee. Like, I couldn't even get it up half of one of my thighs, because that is how skinny I was. They were size 6, and like Topshop size 6, so small. I just remember being like, how did they ever fit this clothing? Like, I have clothes that I've tried on and they got to my arse and they've literally stopped. Like, just not got any further. And I stood there and I've gone, was I really that flat-arsed back then? But I must have been. So half my wardrobe's gone. I'm selling half of it because it doesn't fit anymore. But yeah, so then that was the last point at which I was like cutting. And then since that summer, I remember being like, I'm going to try bulking. Everyone like, seems to be bulking towards winter. So I started bulking. And I started doing it by myself. And so my version of bulking, which I tried for about a month or so before I realised I need help, was I'm going to keep lifting heavy, trying to increase my weights. But I'm going to fuel that with donuts and cakes and no form of vegetables. Yeah, clean, lean bulk it was not. Fun bulk it was. Yes, so then a couple of months into the bulk, I was like, right, this isn't good. I need help. I kind of gained a lot in a very short amount of time. I don't think this is right. So I remember I contacted Abby from Games for Girls a little bit before, and at that point she didn't have any space. So I sent her another message and she's like, I can start you at the end of, like September or something like that, I can't remember. And I was like, great. So signed up with her, and I'll be honest, I could not recommend getting a coach enough, especially if you're trying to bulk for the first time or cut for the first time. It's so beneficial to have someone on hand to kind of help you adjust things and kind of learn what you're doing and like learn the ropes. I've basically been with Abby now for about a year and a bit, and I've basically been bulking with her for the whole time. Yeah, so yeah, pretty much bulking the whole time. We tried a cut at one point, and I just had so much going on in my life, it just didn't work. I just didn't have time to do it properly. So we basically maintained for a bit and then started rebulking again. So I've built a lot in that time. I have personally actually really enjoyed bulking. I feel like I'm so much stronger, not just physically, but mentally, and so much more comfortable with myself. Bulking is one of those experiences that it pushes you out of your comfort zone in a good way, but it has also taught me to almost love myself rather than my exterior, to train for hitting heavier weights, to train for feeling good, to train for enjoyment, and to eat to nourish my body and not be concerned about eating too much pasta, eating too much rice. Carbs are bad, because that food has been being used for fuel. My body has needed that food to grow, it has needed that food to progress. So actually this bulk has basically, any sort of issues that I have had in the past, like, ooh, food's bad for me, well and truly gone. I love food. Me and food are best friends. But at some point last year, I basically said to Abby, I want to compete this year. It's something that I kind of always thought about doing, but never really kind of had the belief in myself that I can do it. I just love love the thought, because I haven't had to do it yet, but the thought of having to push myself to such extremes, having to be that dedicated, that on it, that committed to something to reach that goal, is, for me, is like adrenaline. Like, I'm a bit of a freak like that. I love to have to be 100% committed to something, and have that goal. So have now headed into prep. We're aiming for a show on the 9th of June this year in St Albans, if anyone wants to come and watch. And yeah, so obviously only a week into prep, so at the moment nothing's really changed. Food's gone down a little bit, cardio's gone up, but nothing that's going to make me particularly struggle. I'm fit and posing, practicing on a regular basis, and it's all going good. But I know if I vlog again in about 3 months time, I will probably be sat here like no makeup, hair straight back, looking like a absolute scarecrow, because I know how tough it's going to get. But I'm actually so excited for that challenge, and so excited to really see what I can do and almost see what I've kind of spent the last 18 months building. So that is my story. That is where I'm at now. That is where we're heading. But I'm just going to finish this vlog with a little physique update. I am obviously only a few days into prep. I'm at the start of a 16 week prep, yeah. I have been bulking for 18 months. I do not have abs because my body fat is currently too high to have abs, and I hold the stomach weight on my stomach on my hips, so they are currently bigger than they have been in the past, and I'm currently bloated because I've eaten a big old bowl of oats. But this is reality, and we're going to keep it real, because not everyone looks like other people on Instagram, not everyone has abs, not everyone is in like tip-top peak physical condition all the time, and this is, yeah, just the reality of me really. So you might knock me down, you might knock me down, but I will get back up again. You can call it how you wanna, I ain't giving you $1 this time. I ain't gonna run away. But if you feel like you might want to see more from me, just give it a like, leave any comments below, anything you might want to get to know about me, because I might do a little get to know video at some point. And you know, subscribe if you feel like you're going to like my content. I'm going to be doing a mixture of sort of prep updates, my road to the stage. There'll be some workouts in there, some kind of what I eat in a day, various bits and pieces really, building a business sort of behind the scenes, because I am currently working on building my online coaching business, which hopefully I can go official with next weekend. So if you do think you might want to be coached by me, just drop me a DM on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Lift with Lizzie, and I'll just leave it below here so you can type that in and give me a follow if you fancy. And I hope to see some of you back watching the next one. I think I'll be posting it probably on Wednesday, and I think I'm going to do kind of a day in the life at the moment, because I am currently unemployed. I lost my job on Monday, so I'm kind of running around exercising, obviously doing my workouts, doing my prep, doing some stuff in business. So yes, I think I might do a little sort of day in the life so that you can see what a typical day is for me right now. Hopefully I'll be employed again in March and most days will change, but for now I will see you all later.